It all started with curiosity. The kind that makes your fingers itch when you hear rumors of things you're not supposed to know. For most of us, the dark web is just that. A myth, a mystery, a digital campfire story. But for Daniel Clark, a tech-savvy college student from Phoenix, Arizona, it was something he had to see for himself. He wasn't looking to buy drugs or weapons. He wasn't into conspiracies or hacking for attention. Daniel was just bored. A computer science major who'd already built his own PC by 13. He wanted more than just coding games and scanning TikTok. He wanted to peek into the parts of the internet people whispered about, but never visited. One night, alone in his apartment with nothing but the glow of his dual monitors and the hum of his ceiling fan, Daniel decided to dive in. He installed the Tor browser, activated a VPN, and covered his webcam with tape. Within minutes, he was scrolling through broken marketplaces, bizarre message boards, and sketchy.onion links. Most of it looked fake. But then he found a link called the Marrow Room. The page was dead simple. Just a black screen and one sentence. "Are you sure you want to see?" He clicked yes. The screen flickered. A live stream began loading. Chat box lit up on the side. Usernames like xunfabe17 and Bleeding Zero posted things like, "He's back tonight, and don't look away." The video showed a dimly lit room. A man in a plague doctor mask stood silently next to a person tied to a chair. No sound. Just the subtle shifting of the camera and a deep static hum. Then the man in the mask held up a sign. "Tonight we test loyalty." Daniel froze. The masked figure turned, lifted a small blade, and dragged it gently across the captive's arm. No screams, just muffled sobs. Daniel slammed his laptop shut. His heart pounded in his ears. Had to be fake, right? Just a creepy performance art piece or an elaborate online horror game. He tried to sleep but couldn't. When he woke the next morning, he brushed it off. But by the third day, the urge to revisit the page consumed him. He opened the Tor browser again. But the link was gone. No trace of the Marrow Room anywhere. Then on his desk, he found something he didn't recognize. Small black USB drive. Daniel hadn't used one in weeks. Hands trembling, he plugged it into his offline laptop. 2 folders appeared. One labeled Memories, the other Obedience. Inside Memories were dozens of photos. Of Daniel. Sleeping. Eating. Using his phone. All taken from strange angles. None of which he remembered being near a camera. The second folder had a single text file. It said, "Soon." He never slept properly again. His roommate Zach laughed it off when Daniel tried to explain. Until a week later, Zach vanished. His wallet and phone left untouched. His car still in the driveway. Police came. Flyers were printed. But Zach was never found. Daniel never told anyone about the USB drive. He dropped out of college. Moved back in with his parents. But every night there was something. A shadow in the hallway. A missed call from an untraceable number. Once a handwritten note under his pillow. "You passed the first test." He never used Tor again. But across the country in Kansas City, a woman named Jessica Palmer was having her own experience. Jessica worked in cybersecurity for a Fortune 500 company. She'd seen it all. Ransomware, phishing scams, even insider breaches. But one night, during a routine sweep, she found a strange, deeply encrypted file labeled Dollhouse. When she opened it in a safe environment, it launched a high-definition stream of what looked like a child's playroom. Dozens of porcelain dolls lined the shelves. But these weren't ordinary dolls. Their eyes moved. One blinked. Another turned its head. Jessica recoiled. Then the chat feed lit up. "She's waking up. Put the blue dress on her." Jessica immediately traced the source. Nothing. Dozens of anonymized proxies and dead-end servers. She reported it to the FBI, who launched an investigation. But within days, her world started crumbling. Her social media accounts were hacked. Her bank was drained. She received voicemails with distorted voices whispering her name. Then the box arrived. A porcelain doll, dressed in blue. Its eyes, eerily similar to her own. She smashed it, reported it again, moved to another city, changed her number. But the packages kept coming. No return address. Each one signed, Obedience. In Ohio, another story unfolded. Marcus Denton, a crime journalist, had built a career exposing corruption. But when a former hacker friend told him about a site called Nightingale Exchange, Marcus stepped into something darker than he ever expected. Nightingale wasn't selling drugs or stolen IDs. It was selling people's secrets, surveillance footage, private messages, social media accounts, everything someone would need to control or destroy another human being. Marcus watched as usernames like Neo Crown and Red Palm placed high bids on files labeled Congressman, Double Life, Local Teacher, Past Arrest Sealed, Journalist, Access Now? That journalist was Marcus. His friend disappeared days later. Then Marcus's editor was arrested under suspicious charges. His girlfriend was fired without warning. Marcus knew he was next. He wiped every drive, destroyed every note, and disappeared. Now he lives off-grid. No phone. No internet. Just silence. But every few months he gets a letter. No words. Just a flash drive. He never plugs them in. But the scariest story comes from Colorado. Emma Reed, just 19, stumbled across a forum called The Gas Broom while researching internet subcultures. First it looked like fiction. Users writing strange, desperate messages as if they were trapped. But the timestamps were all recent. Too recent. The posts described rooms with no doors. Screens with countdowns. People begging for food, for sleep. Then a new message appeared. Live. She's reading this right now. She's next. Emma slammed her laptop shut and drove to her cousin's house. When she returned the next morning, her dorm door was cracked open. Her laptop was gone. On her pillow a note. Gasp! That was the last time she used the internet without fear. Each of these people thought they were safe. They used VPNs. Covered webcams. Stayed anonymous. But the truth is, if you go deep enough into the dark web, something eventually sees you. It doesn't matter if you're careful, 'cause they already know your name. And they never forget.